Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game of the Max and part 4 of our Hearts of Iron 4 Old World Blues, the Enclave Redux mod. So, in the last episode, we had begun the new Reno initiative. We got down to the last two focuses before we ended the episode. We did Better Call Sail, which was something you guys had messaged me and said I had forgot on episode 2, so I thank you for that. Um, we did these two over here, and then we did our Department of Defense and our just continuing on down the massive focus tree to get through. We're not really worried about the um, the NCR just yet. We have some time before this war will actually kick off. I am going to save real quick because I forgot to save when I ended the last episode. But with that, I am going to jump in to dedicate the Supreme Court and then the new Reno address, and then we'll jump down. And I'm thinking about, so we can preserve the Japanese culture. The Yakuza are fierce fighters and swear loyal to us in exchange for autonomy, would rather point their guns at our enemies. We can also do establish tributaries, uh, or we can just core. I think I'm going to core the tribes. Someone had asked me to preserve the Japanese culture, and I think I might do that. And the only reason I say I might do that is because I can always core and take those territories later. So it's something to think about. It's not something we have to decide right this second, but I'm most definitely going to be thinking about it. Done with the M115s. Start doing dynamite sticks. I do want to go into production. I would like to start building one of those. Named the Freedom Fighter. I only want two of those. If even we build two of those, to be 100% honest with you. And then the gun runners, we can start buying basic ballistic weaponry. What else?
Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave.
Oh, we got another power armor group. I could really
Enclave
quick.
here.
Let's just do them. Get these guys trained up. I do need to start building vehicles as well, so we can get better logistics going on. We'll real quick train some of these guys up for the upcoming wars. Other than that, I think this so far this run's going. I'm gonna bite myself in the foot saying this. I think this run's doing better than what our first run's been was. Also, in the last episode, we agreed to give the NCR 40 hard to beat tank divisions. So we'll see how they do with those. Um, I'm not really that worried about them, to be honest, because we are the Enclave. But it is something we do need to keep watch out for. They do have 40 tank divisions now. And there they are right there. They look like World War II tanks. So we're going to need a lot of support for sure. They declared war in the Baja Peninsula. I don't think the NCR gets a war goal on New Reno for a while, so we should be okay. Intensive training. Heavyweight, let's do him. Dedicated Supreme Court, long arm of the law comes home, and another milestone for the Reno Initiative. Reno now has a new building to add to its list of landmarks. The C. Clifton Federal Building was refurbished and renovated in a Herculean task after the building was looted and near destroyed during the Great War by rioters trying to obtain U.S. weapons stored there. Now it stands restored and renewed, a testament to the Reno Initiative and the drive of President Granite to restore the wasteland to glory. The building will serve as Supreme Court and is expected to begin hearings here in the next coming weeks. The reopening ceremony saw the president reaffirming of their commitment to return the rule of law to the wasteland, and that this development was to be a cornerstone of that philosophy. Plus 100 political power, plus 35 command power. Got saws made up. Probably do those ones. Maintenance support. I don't know if these help out with reconnaissance would be good. So we'll do reconnaissance companies. And let's do the new Reno address. Get more of that elitist out of there. All right. I don't think any more of these will like negatively impact. So let's see. Political power gain would be really nice. Just because we have loyal officers, it's hurting us. But we can't do anything else, so we'll keep going. TV Town is now at war. They'll get destroyed. Yep, or they are destroyed. She State joins the NCR. That's what we were expecting. The Withered Dogs defeated the Baggers. Oh, so they did finally lose up here. Looks like the Withered Dogs might be beating back the Illuminist ones as well. We'll see. Outpost Aaron Kimball. Go up there and defeat all of them. Way out of the land of the setting sun, Nevada has long been the NCR's playground, and when it wasn't under the shadow of the bear, it was ravaged by raiders, cultists, and slavers. First Citizen Lynette has come forward to create a new faction, the Nevada Pact, dedicated to peaceful cooperation between the lands of Nevada. The proposed alliance will recognize the autonomy of the Pact members while encouraging trade and commerce. I really don't care, do you? Well, I'm going to have to care because at some point they'll start inviting other people. So I have to get ready to defeat Vault City at some point. The only problem is the moment we start pushing out, we're going to have to pay more. Which isn't necessarily bad because we'll get more territory. And we do need it. That's some decisions. Right now we're at... Oh, well, let me see it. All right, the new Reno Address. The president today gave an address from the steps of the Western White House to a large crowd of onlookers among the restored city of New Reno. What you see before you in this city that we've rebuilt is what a taste of what the Enclave will do to the rest of the country. The United States will live again, and it's through these endeavors like the Reno Initiative that we will turn this blighted wasteland into a thriving paradise, where survival is not the word of the day, but the echoes of a bygone era. The Great War might have knocked America on its knees, but this country will stand proudly once again. What has since been called the New Reno Address is the local press has renewed a sense of pride and patriotism in the citizens of New Reno, who no longer see themselves as the pawns of gang lords, but as citizens of a country that only read in historical books, or history books. Critics, of course, point out that the president seemed to hide alternative motives, and that the vague promises were too open to be truly kept. So far, those predictions have been yet to make manifest. Recordings of the speech are available on holotape in the local stores. Gain 125 political power, gain 15% base war support, and gain 3% legitimacy. Getting closer. Let's see. So we finished New Reno. We can start preparing for expansion. I probably would like to do a little bit. I know the Armed Forces News Network is always cool. They give you little excerpts. They're not. It's not needed, but like when you take Modoc, it'll be like the glorious forces of the Armed Forces of the Enclave have taken hold. So we want to do that just to have them. Jump up here. Let's buy some basic ballistic weapons. Again, we don't super need them, but and at some point we're supposed to do this down Mexico's way. Okay, President granted before the Great War of America's Reconstruction forces in Mexico operated under the aid of a powerful AI known as Tlaloc, or Loloc. Although sadly the AI has never accepted our claim to be legitimate U.S. authority, doubtless due to a programming error. Loloc has lately broadcast a signal suggesting he is malfunctioning. Perhaps we should explore this. One tool that would be invaluable is understanding just how Loloc robots keeps going without running out of fuel immediately. See, not federal property. We add -5 political power for adds Loloc's energy programs, which gives us power armor cell usage -5%, and energy cell gain per energy plus 10%, and synergy cell capacity plus 20%. That's fuel. Energy cell is what fuel is considered in this one. Or let the sleeping gods lie. I think you get more if you let the sleeping gods lie. So we'll... I don't know how I want to choose this. We get event the heart of the storm. Let's do that one. Who cares? Well, it's chemical core research. Research and development. Research speed.
Rick Reed, bringing updates from Navarro. Dakota Cannon reporting in on the streets of Phoenix. Dwight Sullivan at Helios 1.
Brent Osborne, taking you through Seattle proper.
Ella Fitzgerald on the front in Tucson.
The AFN collects news from all across the wasteland and brings it to you live as it happens. Stay informed, stay updated. Only on AFN.
New California defeated the Val Bandits. That's the AFN. I really like that. I like how that whole little interaction is for the AFN. I think that's the mod creators. That's like a chef's kiss. That's awesome. This whole mod is a chef's kiss personally, but we got 566 political power. We'll have to. We could bribe them. Makes it 5. Scavengers found nothing. Man, we're just batting up zeros right now for scavenging. Let's see. We'll do militia training. 200,000 is a lot of money for that, though. We are starting at the Sierra Army Depot because I want to do Farbo Bloodder and then the excavated lower levels because we need those data chips. So, or not data chips. What's that called? Electronics, advanced components. We need that for our body armor. The bear has wings. Flight has always been a dream of the NCR. One of the larger pushes of President Tandy was to reclaim the old world power of flight ever since she laid eyes on the ruins of LAX. In those years, the NCR military has taken to that torch, and over the skies of Shady Sand, the largest formation of NCR aircraft ever assembled flew over the city. The nation's new fighter, attack, and bomber flew over the city, sporting the two-headed bear and California Star proudly on their sides. Some pointed out that the NCR is pouring too much effort into its Air Force, given that the very few in the wasteland can even operate an Air Force. NCR air officials, however, pointed out that the Legion apparently created an air force of airships, and that if the NCR Army is to succeed in battle against the Legion, they will need an Air Force. Oh yeah, we have an Air Force too, right? Perhaps we should build some more fighters, maybe some AA. Yeah, we are building that, just slowly. We're building the military factory right now, so. Some dynamite sticks, some recon companies. Come over to industry. Plant cultivation, basic tools. Alright, hider. Yeah, we'll just hide. The heart of the storm. Good news, everyone. The back door our troops found was still active. They were able to access ChicoNet. We already gained invaluable data and are stealing some of the treasures of Mexico, but one of our scientists believes he can subvert Lolok and make him recognize we are the true American government. With the powers of Lolok, we could rebuild America and Mexico too eventually. Proceed or get sophisticated robot tech. Let me go into research real quick. What is sophisticated? Up to assaultrons. So that's the highest you can go. Freedom Prime. So if I'm not mistaken, I know in the last time I did both, I said I kind of saved scum. It doesn't matter which way you go. The Lolok will pretty much kill it, like it'll die. So we're just gonna go with Operation Sam Houston for the sophisticated tech and the robot research. And Lolokin will break apart, and we're gonna hear a really loud scream here in a second. So, murder most foul across Mexico. Lolok stations fell silent. The idea of cleansed scientists outside of Lolok's lair kicked the terminal, but to no avail. Silence, and then across the airways a question: "What did you do?" Wait, who are you again? So they all fall apart, and Aero Mexicano gets flight, and they hate us. So, murder must follow. You have killed my father and your protector. All that you have ever done is fight and bicker in the mud. In 100 and 1,000 years, you will not be fit for liberty. Despotism is your proper government, and servitude your proper lot. But fear not, my fellow Mexicans. There is no reason your new master cannot be a wise and virtuous one. Across Lolok's domains, the robots advanced. Santa Ana eyes stared vacantly as they advanced, as they were to stare at every atrocity to follow. Santa Ana will set out to reunite Mexico. They get games, Doomed Us All, Opinions of Lost Hill, and they focus on the underwater robots. Quick, blame the Brotherhood of Steel. Man, what's the Brotherhood doing? So they get parts of their focus tree updated. So we'll go back down and fight them. Don't matter. It don't matter even a bit. Sponsor a railway for an extra building slot. Yeah, we can do that. 100 political power. It's steep, but it's alright. Back in here. One more. Let's see. Construction wise. Do. Some more mill factories being built. Do lift gains for some construction speed. We lose 15% caps income. Our caps income is really good right now. So I'm just going to do that for that little bit of bonus to... Oh, it's resources to market. Never mind. Expand below. Excavation below has begun, and to our surprise, we found a pre-war survivor. Private Clerk First Class Audie Dobbs of the U.S. Army. He'd been locked in stasis for the better part of 200 years. Our scientists carefully initiated revival procedures to ensure he did not suffer from post-chronic syndrome and turned into a puddle of slime. After a few minutes of disorientation, he recovered fully, though is somewhat distraught at the intervening 200 years. However, he's eager to return to service, being a loyal American soldier. Being he's a purebred genetic human, we can't deny that request. Our engineers, though, are ready to begin excavation, though they only have the manpower for one project currently. So you get to choose either side, is what it's saying. So, let's see. So you can do scavenging the surface, and we get some birds. It adds Nemesis ADS, which we will need to do. But we'll probably focus on the... or we get to choose either side. Right? Excavate and expand. Yeah. And then we can do this side. So you get one free. Life in the depot. Don't want to do that. Let's do prepare expansion. I do want to at least knock out some of these people. Uncover the secrets of the data for better or worse. Get our war support up. At least knock out MODOK and the Slags. And maybe the Den. We can get cores on these territories. And these will at least give us some power, some other scrap metal that we need. This will be really good to get advanced components. Though we are finally at capacity for advanced components. So not too worried about it. Can reform the army, reform the air. And reform the navy, home defense. Good for right now. Let's do cold feet. No, it's a 45-day focus. Let's see. This is 10, 20. Let's do a 10. Restoring Herlong. Esmeralda falls silent. The Big Circle is often considered to be the most lucrative trade route in the West, reaching from Oregon down to the Mojave. Yet for many years, the Esmeralda Valley directly to the south has often been too dangerous for traders to pass through on account of unceasing conflict. That is until now. Couriers and caravans report that Esmeralda has fallen silent, finally unified under the banner of the 215th, a former Canaanite chain gang. What this means to the region is uncertain, but many are wary of their ambitions. While the Big Circle is no longer a stranger to strange and unexpected, two things come in spades in the wasteland. This latest development may the strangest yet. People have awoke to find new channels on the radios and strange holotapes outside their doors. They all speak of a new star rising in Esmeralda, a queen of raiders with a flare of limelight. Marine may be small time now, but it maybe that soon all of the big circle will be fawn over her stardom, be it in person or over the radio. Dope traders. Life in the depot. Sierra Armor Depot was built as a massive storage depot for military equipment before being shuttered due to manpower constraints in the Great War. The problem is it's starting to become a bit difficult to get operations going and expand the base when there are families living alongside the soldiers as well. Not everyone was keen on moving to New Reno, being it wanting to stay with their family, not wanting to live in the city, or just being secure behind the walls of the old army base. However, this place is not meant for families, and we cannot conduct operations if we have children running through the halls or spouses beating down on briefings because the toilet seat was left clogged. I don't know how toilet seats are clogged, but the answer, of course, lies right outside the base with the ruins of Herlong, the town that was built to support the base just for this reason. Sure, it's seen better days, but the engineers are ready, and we've set up a special committee to decide who gets what and where within the town. Gain 100 political power. Sierra Army Depot adds the town of Herlong, which grants the town of Herlong was left behind barren after the war, but we can rebuild it. All right, let's get this done. Now they're at war with the Paz bandits. So let's see. This is Sierra Army.
Video feed working.
So
And the fucking president's watching us like a hawk.
there you go. There you go. Set it again. Set it again. Where am I at? Right. Where's it? Right here. Herlong Farms, and then Herlong Reborn. I want the Nemesis. Really, we can do all of this until we get to restoring the reactor. So we need full control. So we can do up to this point. We'll get there. We'll do the expansion part, and we'll keep going. So let's do this one, the Herlong Farms. Now we should start to be seeing power armor. Oh yeah, we got extra power armor, so we could. What am I doing? Just build 3 of them. They don't have the good power armor, but that's fine. That'll be all right. And then we can do up to 9 auxiliaries. We'll just need weapons for them, so we'll go in here, buy some more of the basic weaponry. Arroyo defeated the Packers. Herlong Police Station. With the expansion of the depot, the military police department on the base has to focus more and more on the base itself. As such, we restored some old office buildings and set up a small police station to handle the town. Aside keeping the peace, they will also be handling the occasional giant insect attack and patrolling in case of a wayward deathclaw is stalking through the night. With the incentive of a bonus, we've reached out to the New Reno Police to assist us in this endeavor. Said officers arrived a few days ago and are adjusting from the change from the big city policing to small town policing. There's some friction between the military members now living in Herlong, but for the most part, it's gone over smoothly. Most they'll be doing anyway is watching for soldiers' kids doing whatever it is wasteland kids do this day, or do these days. It'll buff out plus 15% stability. Oops, back to 4-speed. This gets us some vertibirds. We can do robotic defenses, which is what we'll do. Order Bros. See, pre-war designs. We don't have those just yet. But we will do this one. Here. Quality PA. Consider support supplying battle for the Hoover Dam. Scribes, Paladin Knights, relics of the past and future. Amongst them stands the Legion, who will act like a bull in China shop through all the Brotherhood values. If they get their way, who will win? Fate of the Mojave. Production and construction speed. This costs political power daily, but 8% research speed. And resistance activity chances 9 to 10. drops it by quite a bit. Let's see. Robots. This fission batteries. Herlong Farm. Soldiers might be content with high nutrient rations, but their families and other support civilians won't exactly take too keenly to this palate. Just south of Herlong are the remnants of some farms, but trying to get anything to grow in this wasteland is a Herculean task at the best of times, and would likely need a miracle. Somehow, the chemical cores provided that miracle. Colonel Dottie, the off-putting but pleasant head of the chemical cores after it was vacated by Dr. Curling II, apparently had a project to try and restore the soil around the area. Apparently, she had a breakthrough, sort of. It's a chemical that she curated through several weeks of controlled testing that she even admits won't likely ever be able to be replicated on a mass scale. However, she is sick of eating depot food and wants to enjoy some actual food again. And if it means getting rid of her entire stock, then this is a sacrifice she is willing to make. She also turned over some of her research to assist in trying to restore soil and design more hardy plants for the future. Score 1 for the chemical core. Oh, we didn't even get anything for that. And then Herlong Reborn. We'll just finish that out. And then we'll move over to get the Nemesis AA, which is just anti-air that you can put in your units. Get more weapons, more power armor. Getting those. Construction, working on the civilian. I'm not sure how much civilian MODOK has. Which we can always look here. 5 to 7, 4 to 6, and the slags have 3 to 5. So, I mean, it won't even be 10, but that's better than nothing. Going into the role, Douglas Granite was overseeing another meeting of Congress in New Reno. In the past, Granite used to hate events like this, but now Granite felt like it was home for him. It was as if he was growing into the role of president with the help of Mr. Bishop. Granite felt that his skills as a politician had improved. He was now able to hold his own in debates with political opponents. He was also much better at wrangling in other reformers, whether it be by charisma or ruthlessness. Looks like all those nights spent reading lying congressional style was worth it, thought Granite. There was still room for growth, and Granite swore that he would become the greatest president post-apocalyptic America had ever seen. Men rise from one ambition to another, gain 150 political power. Political power in abundance. Bismarck declared war on the two peoples. Hand dogs defeated the scorpion bite. Scavenger's triumph. We get 1 time 50 cost reduction for air. And what's that? Scavenging logistic issues. A report came in this morning that the Reclamation Authority has not received supplies for the next scavenging mission. They were notified in response that we were having a broader issue with our logistics. We should meet with them soon to figure out the next steps. So we got to choose a different way, I believe. We have ran out of vehicles. Chop shop, lots of bicycles. Oh, we need unfortunate news. Let's go in here, buy some more. Start scavenging with vehicles and just find something. Unfortunate news. Fortunately, some of our soldiers are taking up the practice of blasting a pre-war song from their vertibirds during routine patrols. It does not need explaining how this behavior is reckless and needlessly conspicuous. Nonetheless, our popularity must be considered in these uncertain times. Lose intellectual support, raise NCR suspicion, or just ask them to turn it up. Gain 100 political power, change the popularity of intellectual by 2%, and it'll go up by 10 with the NCR suspicion. We'll just turn it up. Herlong Medical. Pre-war, if one was injured in Herlong or on base and it was serious, they would be evacuated either by ambulance or helicopter to Reno. We don't have that luxury anymore, and we doubt anyone wants to ride on a Brahmin cart all the way to New Reno. While Sierra Army Depot does have an advanced medical facility underground, it's primarily for the personnel stationed on base, though it can be used in an emergency. However, for days-to-day checkups and the like, something else is needed. Working with the followers of the apocalypse, we managed to expand some old shops and turn them into a triage clinic and surgery center, as well as a small outpost for the followers themselves. This base nearby has given them a few pre-programmed Mr. Gutsy and Mr. Handies for use to supplement their manpower. The followers fund much of the operation as well as provide supplies by the base such as stim packs, medical tools, and aforementioned robots. They are, however, asking for donation and a list of materials that can be donated from the local populace. Kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Not particularly. Go. Deploy. you guys out.
The fucking president's watching us like a hawk.
Yeah, he is. Signs of the future. Herlong reborn. Crowds gathered in Herlong to witness the restoration of the pre-war town. President granted visit the restored town of Herlong outside of the Sierra Army Depot and addressed the military families and civilians who have come to call this area home. You right here, or this right here, is an example of what you can actually do with this country. You, as Americans, rebuild this abandoned husk of a town and turn it into a little slice of Americana that hasn't been seen in 200 years. No longer are you squatting in the depot, forced to share a communal warehouse just to have a roof over your head. Each of you are your own man and your own woman and are this much closer to the control of your own future. An American future where all of us can finally achieve the dreams of restoring America to what it once was, to the rightful place in this world. Let's make this dream a reality. Herlong is fully restored. And there you go. There's Herlong right there. Local manpower plus 50%, max factories and state plus 10%, extra 15 water, extra 10 power, and extra 5. I think that's aluminum. Let's do strike the surface. I think that's what that is. Let me go to trade real quick. Composite materials. Okay, not aluminum. We'll do this one for the AA, and then we're going to go to war with MODOK. Can't buy anything. Plant cultivation. Let's do part standardization.
This is Enclave main com.
Lannius cohort declared war on the Maxon expedition. Oh yeah, who's winning down here? Oh, it looks like the Brotherhood's holding.
Enclave here.
One more Enclave and we should be full stack with them. We'll need to buy new guns. Department of Public Works. Herlong is growing, and with it, the need for someone to manage the growing town's public works system. While it sounds communist, we can't have our people fearing that they could run out of water anytime soon. Plus, it's a military town, so it's kind of expected we handle these things. This entails making sure the roads aren't completely destroyed, coordinating with the base and other necessary tasks that are vital but ignored. The biggest two are water and electricity. Nearby, Honey Lake has actually refilled with water since the bombs fell, and there is a course nearby Pyramid Lake. Both of them, however, need to be checked for radiation. As for power, we might be pumping all our power from Gecko, but most of it goes to the base, and we at least need a substation or something to turn the lights on in the city. Build a Department of Public Works. I'll allow it. Let's see. I would like the Technocrat and the political power gain. For you, I want this person, Dana McCoy, for resistance and compliance gain. All right, continue on. Do Light of Liberty. Don't really need it right now. We've got plenty of people, so defeated the Maxon expedition. Striking the surface. Our engineers have set to work on the surface, clearing out much of the rubble, debris, and bodies. While we can't confirm who these bodies were, we can determine the oldest ones and bury them with full military honors. Any other will be put in Golgotha. However, the engineers only have enough manpower to work on one project, either the airstrip or the robot defense. Get those automated defenses up now. So we get the Nemesis ADS.
Enclave main com.
And we can add our robots under... let's see your Reformers. Remy, Scott Blair. Let's do Scott Blair. Congratulations, Mr. Blair. You're now in charge of the robot division. All right, with that, let's come up here. Let's do break the ties. And then civilization by force. It's 20 days. Then we're going to swing over to the right, or the left, the right. Knock out the den. Do a silver mech eye. Swing over, knock out the den. This will bring up the NCR suspicion, but we can bring it down here, and we can do it via decision, or via one of our oh well, Khazar's legions defeated the Mojave Brotherhood. Siege of Hidden Valley. So, wait, what? Must have been a bloodbath. Well, they were holding them last I checked. That's how it goes. The president, no broadcast. Oh, yeah, we can do these. Vision, intellectual support. You could really just kind of flush out the intellectual support, but not too worried about it. Trade, tariffs, docks. Uncle Sam's. I wouldn't mind docks. I usually get docks for the support equipment. Am I building support equipment? No. I'll need to. And then the Nemesis air defense I'll need to bring forward. Destruction of Mount Rushmore. The Lakota long quarreled with the federal government over Mount Rushmore's presence on their lands. But after the Great War, they had other priorities. Now, Chapel Wagner has decided to leave her mark on history and destroy the old monuments, a reminder to the world that this land is and always will be her people's. The bomb knocked Lincoln's nose to the floor off the cannon, gouged out Washington's eyes, and fractured Germany's jaw. So much of the mountain remains, but the ruins are a legacy to the end of America in these lands. The Americans were like a flood, overrunning a river's bank and destroying all in its path. They sickened the world with greed and excess until they burned the world to its bones. And now we burn their memories from this land. Let us now put our minds together and build a world for our children. Decrease in standing with Standing Rock by 100. Oh, I gotta figure out where Standing Rock's at. Arthur's okay. Standing Rock, right there. Oh, I think I was looking at them. Complaints about rations. The abundance of non-spoilable military rations scattered across what remains of the U.S. has always been of vital importance to the Enclave. The hydroponic facilities at our bases are not always able to keep up demand, and we hardly have the manpower to send out to till the fields. This leaves us as the mercy of the logistics officers of 200 years ago. However, and it appears some form of mislabeling has resulted in the Sierra Armored Depot being stocked with a century supply of hard Russian cheeses. A recent power surge has damaged one of our hydroponic harvests, and since then, the hard Russian cheese has been served with breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. This has caused some disgruntled personnel, chief among them lead scientist Thomas Kesselhut, to accuse the cooks of a lack of skill and creativity and demand we ban the Russian cheese. Ban the cheese, or we'll have to deal with it until the menu changes. We gained some more support, but I feel like that's like saying, oh, we'll just have to deal with it. Yeah. People start starving because we banned Russian cheese. Let's do Enclave Intelligence. Do ground support. Bad weather penalty, because there's bad weather everywhere. The Jackals and the Vipers. No, we're gonna go with the Yakuza. Alright, MODOK. Declare war. Annex. Send. Push my troops forward.
This is Enclave Maincom.
Make a second one. Everybody forward. Come in here. Buy some basic. Buy some bicycles. Alright.
Enclave here. That's a no one.
Fan defenses.
You were warned. Enclave here.
Oh, I did forget about the last person here. Keep pushing. I'm gonna try to last stand it, but they're not gonna be able to hold for very long for sure. Oh yeah, we have an Air Force missing in production. Support robots, yeah. Start building those. Let's see. I do have an Air Force. So you guys, close air support, strategic bombing. And then just the same. Drive out the Yakuza. We'll do the Den debacle as well. I was going to try to work on other things first, but as we're pushing forward,
This is Enclave main com.
be aggressive. Modoc's destroyed. We'll take over Modoc. Should take Ghost Farms.
Enclave here.
And they're aggressively. We'll change away from aggressive. Once we get into the war with the other, with the NCR. Let's knock out the Den. Got researched. You researched. Can't research you. We can research these guys, historical firearms. Hider activities at 75 now. So we can, just because the cost has gone up. That's fine. 75 really is not that bad. We need to just start banking our political power. Just hold on to it. As best as we can. So we'll do the Den debacle. We'll do civilization by force for the core. You got Modoc State and Chester. Oh wait, are those the only two you get? So these two become cores. All American did this and no one complained. So appears in Antelope Reservation State. So we get more units. I'll do this way. Control trade. We'll do her. Put you all in Vault City. Put you on root out resistance in the north with upgrades. Upgrades. Where is it? Root out resistance. Anti-partisan. There's another one. No. Let's do anti-partisan for right now. Alright. There we go. Alright. So now that we can go to war with the Vipers, or the Den, not the Vipers, the Den. Knock out the Den. Then I decided we will just keep the Yakuza as a puppet state. Just to have a puppet state. We can always just take them over. Immediate raid against our borders. We've learned of a plan to steal money from the Den. Thankfully, we managed to decipher messages sent between the raiders and learn of the target before a nasty surprise. We should muster a defense. Well, there's about to be no Den left, so. Cut around them. Scavengers found nothing. Tell you I'm surprised, but I'm not.
That's a no one. Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave.
Do that. Civilization by force. We can infiltrate the NCR.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main com. Damn.
Anti-partisan. We will do that again. Force will be taken. The Den had nothing.
This is Enclave main com.
That's not what I wanted.
The fucking president's watching us like a hawk.
Yeah. Do something like that. That's fine. Let's see. Gun runners. What's my opinion with you? 22. Sell some pipe weapons. Sell you some bicycles. The Air Equites, in a recent development, NCR scouts have noted seeing aircraft flying over the skies of the Legion. This development is speculative to have been the creation of the Aquilane Palatine, the secretive scientific body behind the Legion's most recent development. It appears to have been a joint venture between the Shadowy organization and the Speed Cult in Tucson, creating troubling developments for what is generally considered a Luddite organization. NCR intelligence believes that the Legion may have cannibalized the various fighters left over at pre-war Air Force bases that Tucson had been using for spare parts to assemble its Air Force in record time. Regardless, the NCR Air Force officials, however, remain optimistic, pointing out that the NCR training, skill, and flexibility will win the day over anything the Legion can throw. I thought he was about to be going backwards technologically. I thought he was all about. Yeah, I did too. Anything to win a war, right? We're going to do infiltrate the NCR so our suspicion goes down. We already have our war goal, so once these guys get their stuff, everything back, we'll push. Then Vault City, we can start doing this. Go home. Declare war. Push. Check to see. Alright, my missile batteries are already gone. They're losing some. Look at how much damage those are being. Good lord. Jesus in jail? What is this? You're lucky I ain't got my knife on me. Give you a second smile on that neck of yours, I would, threaten Jesus or Jesus Morindo as he sat chained to a table. Across from him was Philip Grayson, who was less intimidated and more amused by the sight, if not because he held something in his hands. Oh, you mean this knife? Grayson asked, placing Mordino's favorite knife, little Jesus, on the table. Hey, give me that! That's mine! Shouted Mordino. Correction, it's evidence. Mr. Mordino, my name is Felix Grayson, Attorney General of the Enclave of the United States. So what? The hell is Attorney General? Wait, the Enclave? Grayson ignored him. Mr. Mordino, you're now being charged with running an organized crime ring, facilitation of human trafficking, acts of terrorism against the United States, incitement of violence against U.S. armed forces, act of rebellion against the federal government of the United States, and 90 accounts of sexual assault, along with 30 accounts of rape. Oh, and 1 account of first-degree murder of Richard Wright. How do you plead? What the beep? That's not a plea. Jesus Mordino sentenced. Hopefully they kill him. Yeah, we're just tearing right through the Yakuza.
Why isn't your video feed working?
Which, to be fair, we haven't taken any of the other ones with us, but that's fine. Go on home, NCR. Go on home. If there was one thing the refugees that fled to Vault City were always wary of, was the NCR garrison in the city. While the standard trooper was never a concern, their officers were always suspicious of the influx of personnel from the west. Well, we know how it all ended. However, if we are to make any headway, we're going to need the resources of Vault City, and that Grayson sees the Enclave marching towards the city of power armor being produced, or power armor being introduced, the rest of the NCR will become suspicious. Well, thankfully, Navarro has delivered. With our spies in the NCR, we've been able to forge documents for sending the garrison in Vault City out to Navarro, opening up a golden opportunity to swoop in and claim the city for ourselves. They should be cleared out by the time we decide to invade or offer protection, seeing the garrison has vacated. Vault City removes the NCR garrison, which grants +2 weekly manpower, +5% stability, -5 war support, -1 passive income, -3 composite metal, and -3 advanced components. And they remove Vault City garrison, which they lose 2 weekly manpower, they gain 1 passive cap income, and 3-3 for the tradable goods. Show of force. I guess we're not 200 strength more. So we can just straight up annex them.
This is Enclave main com.
Can't do those yet. Can't do those yet. Do scrap trucks though. And Enclave radio. Yeah. Alright, we got the Yakuza. Submit demands, confirm.
This is Enclave main com.
Take you all. We can move against the
Your
jackals.
video feed working.
Demand tribute from who? 258th will not be pushed around, or 215th. Yeah, we're gonna destroy the 215th. Right, I'm kind of hoping that they fight the Vipers real quick, and if they do, we're gonna push against them. Let's see, got that. Enclave radio will be done, and then they said they wanted to do this one. They asked if we could do this one. We'll do it. Preserve Japanese culture. 1,000 manpower, 100 political power, and get the events Yakuza honor. War never changes. It's October 2277, 200 years ago. The world ended at 0913 Eastern Standard Time. The integrated operational nuclear test system detected that the first 4 missile launches in the United States went to DEFCON 2. 4 minutes later, NORAD confirmation sealed the fate of the world. At 0926 Eastern Standard Time, the president, secure on the rig and with the same remorse as the chairman Chang, ordered a retaliatory strike. 2 hours later, the 2 powers who controlled the world fell silent. The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted. Too many humans, not enough space or resources to go around. The details are trivial and pointless. The results, as always, purely human ones. Now, all that remains are the children of a ruined earth, still suffering the scouring of atomic war, inhabiting the husk of a once great cities, looking at the decaying morals, and some clinging to the fading marks of the old world. However, one future in the wasteland is never certain, and the depot and old power has awakened. Life in America is about to change. Political power plus 250. Perfect. Gives me plenty enough to get away from the NCR for a much longer time. We'll preserve their Japanese culture. Again, I think it liberates them as a puppet. It gives you the choice to. So, do walking tanks, though it does hurt my training now. Excuse me as I take a sip of my drink. Throat's getting a little scratchy from talking. Local workshops is done. Can't do anything there yet. Infantry wise. Well, little recon teams. That'd be good. Yeah, it looks like the Vipers are about to fall. Once they fall, we'll push up against the 215th. Get the preserved Japanese culture. Jesus Murdino sentenced in an open and shut trial in New Reno. Former New Reno gang boss, little Jesus Murdino, was sentenced today after being found guilty on all accounts. Mr. Murdino was convicted to 2 life sentences, plus 3,490 years in prison. Attorney General Grayson was on the steps of the federal courthouse in New Reno, speaking that no one, no raider, no mob us, no one is above the law. Let me assure you, the president has entrusted me with establishing law and order. Many here in New Reno can attest to the acts of barbarism committed by Murdino crime family, and today represents the first step in restoring the trust that our country has in law. Mr. Murdino was unable to be reached for comment, has been flown out to the refurbished Federal Correction Institute, Herlong, near Sierra Army Depot. Mr. Wright, the aging father of Richard Wright, has extended his thanks to the Attorney General for bringing the murder of his son to justice after all of these years. A win for American justice. We gained 1% legitimacy. I'm surprised they didn't just kill him. But I would have done. Push through against the Jackals. Again, it says we're not 200% stronger than the NCR. Or, not the NCR, but the Vault City. We got 15 to 29, so we would need 40 divisions. That, if my math is mathing right. Chop shop. Selling is worth more. How many motorcycles do I got? Or bicycles? 260. So yeah, we'll sell those. Give me some more. So we're at 18. You can buy that at 45. All right. Yakuza Honor. Seems our commitment to preserving Japanese culture and our acceptance of wastelanders as a whole bore some fruit. The central recruiting officer in Reno has given word that 2 entire battalions worth of former Yakuza are outside in formation wearing uniforms that resemble ours. They claim they are willing to serve the Enclave in the United States as soldiers and are willing to give their lives for our cause. Given our limited numbers, we can't exactly turn down a request for troops, even if some of our more hardline officers are against having former criminals in the Army. What's more, their discipline and knowledge of urban warfare cannot be overlooked. Plus, it would be really cool to see a bonsai charge against the Legion. Go for broke or integrate them into the Army. Loads 2 PA units and 2 auxiliary units. Yeah. So we got the Nezai.
President's watching us like a hawk.
And we got
That's a no one.
Yakuza Enforcers. So move you over. You will fall under, I think, Coyote Kelly. She's one of the better ones. She's a little bit better than him. And then let's give 16, 18. Oh, we can only do 16. Okay. Alright, so while we wait, crack the code. Anti-communist propaganda. What is the Enclave? Take radio. Do reform the United States Army. We could reform the Central Staff. I'm not gonna do that just yet. I kind of want to get to this. So let's do integrate officers. Ooh. Let me finish this before I do that. Do Legacy of Vault 15.
Enclave here.
Yeah, you guys can just chill back. Scavenger jackpot. A scavenger has returned in Reno with reports of an intact military base we thought lost with energy weapon stockpile. Traditionally, scavengers have the right to the property they find, but we could use our new police force to seize his finds. On the other hand, if we request his claim, it will cement our claim to stand for order and the rule of law. 3% legitimacy, plus 50 political power available because we have out with the old. Laws apply to the people and the government alike. We're so close to getting our legitimacy positive. We can send out spies, which we will do. We'll scroll up. I'm going to do the new citizen care package. And then I'm going to go into here. With her, root out resistance. Oh, you're going to have to make me choose, aren't you? Let me go occupy territories with the caravan guards. We have plenty of manpower now. We need Vault City because of coring capabilities for the world, or for like the rest of the area. So what we'll do is we'll defeat the Jackals, getting a war goal against the 215th. Probably defeat them. The fall of the Hand Dogs in California, or Colorado against Lanius's cohort. So yeah, Lanius is super strong right now. We're going to come all the way down here. We're going to get the Legacy of the DIA, which gives us an annex goal against the 215th. We've got ours against the Jackals right now. So we will come over here. We'll declare war on the Jackals. I for sure remember the Yakuza territory becoming puppets if you did that route, but I was wrong. We can still actually puppet them if we chose to, and then you just take them over like you would any normal time. The last shell, the remnants of Addis's army, has struggled since their defeat at the hand of the Brotherhood. The Ironmonger have suffered greatly in the conflict against the forces of El Ejército Mexicano. So, Santa Ana has defeated the Ironmongers. Mighty Step of the Future, we add Lockreed schematics. Perfect. We're finding stuff. We'll defeat the Jackals here. Looks like Badland Buckaroos is getting knocked out by Vault City. These units should deploy relatively soon. And let's see what else is going on. Finished up with the Jackals. We're going to sit demands, confirm an exit. I've thought about letting the Yakuza back go and becoming their own puppeted area again, but I think I need them for... No, I don't. Yeah, I don't need anything for... Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Just Gecko. Then we can get the civilian power grid, which lets us core everything if we need to. Well, again, we can always bring them back. So let me, before we end this episode, I'm going to do this because I think it would be interesting, to say the least, if we release them without, let me see, are they've got any more claims anywhere? They got this. Where's their other claim at? It said 3, right? I'm not crazy. I only see 2. Well, let me see if it will let me. Release, obtain with R-Core. So they're back in power. Then we can annex them. But we won't just, oh, they even have their own flag. That's so cool. So we'll allow them to just kind of build up if they need to. It can soon raise its autonomy. It really can't, but yeah. So there's the Yakuza under Setsutaro Iohara. They are what they are there. And that's cool. So they get a federal state. Oh yeah, that's really cool. Help from New Reno, restore an order, and then I can, just like that, I can annex them if I need to. So I really like that, actually. You're building that finally. You're building bikes. We'll get some more Protectrons being built. We're gonna need more anti-tank for sure. More here, and more here. There we go. So yeah, you can go up to a federal state when you need to. Then I can still take them over when I need to by just demoting them. So, all right, with that, I'm going to end episode 4. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.